Hello and welcome to Catfish Trash Talk. This is episode 2. I'm your host, comedian Tracey Carnazzo, joined by my co-host, Noelle Winters Herzog.
Hi, hello.
A lot of you are brand new to the Trash Talk empire.
Mm-hmm.
I am Tracey Carnazzo. I'm a stand-up comedian here in New York City. Noelle is a very famous storyteller in New York City as well. We are hosts of Teen Mom Trash Talk, 90 Day Fiancé Trash Talk. And then if you join our Patreon at patreon.com, you will also get Unexpected Trash Talk, 16 and Pregnant Trash Talk, 90 Day Fiancé, Self-Quarantine Trash Talk, and our favorite BS, which is our favorite podcast to do. There are almost 260 episodes just of that, but 160, I think, right?
Yes.
160
I was going to say 260 is a lot.
of that podcast. And it's amazing. Everyone loves it.
It's the best. You know, it's funny. I had friends that were subscribing to this and they're like, oh, how cool you're starting a podcast. It's like, hello?
What?
Hello?
Do you know who I am?
I'm starting a podcast? Do you know how many podcasts we do? My brain's going to explode.
But you know what, though?
Yeah.
If you're here, welcome.
Listen, we love you just for being here.
Just welcome. We're here to talk about season 8, episode 34 of Catfish on MTV.
This was fun.
We're going to talk about Courtney and Chris today.
Okay. All right.
Let's get right into it. 3 years ago, Chris, who lives in Turkey, met Courtney online.
Right.
All right. Now, also, Kamie's in LA, Neve's in New York City, and Neve is also still working from Rel's office.
Right. So they probably filmed this the same day. They're just filming all of these.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. So Courtney's 22. She's a home health aide and she lives in Ohio.
Right.
Chris is an artist, 22. He loves anime, video games, and they also break up a lot.
Young love.
In November, they started to get serious, but there's still no video chatting.
Okay. So you've been dating someone for 3 years on and off, and you're serious enough with them, and you've never video chatted with them.
Correct. That is correct. So we see Courtney, we meet her. She has green hair. She has a septum piercing. She is dressed like Kurt Cobain. And
you told me I look like Kurt Cobain the other day.
You do look like Kurt Cobain.
She has angry eyebrows. Okay. Very angry.
I'm not positive what's happening with the eyebrows, but
is that a look?
I guess. I mean, that is her look.
Because I was wondering.
And then also remember something. Keep in mind, she's a home health aide. She has claws.
Right.
She has claws. She has spiked fingernails.
Yeah, I don't know what she's aiding with those.
Just saying. So now they met through, and Noelle, I hate to be ignorant. They met through a role play Facebook.
Right. What is that? Does that mean like a group?
Where someone sent her character to go kill Chris's character, but instead they fell in love.
Right.
She's only seen a picture of Chris in cosplay and one with a mask on.
So is this like playing The Sims?
I guess so. Like they're all pretending to be someone else on Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I wish that there was a little more.
That's a great excuse to be like cheating though. Like if you get caught cheating on Facebook, you could be like, I was doing cosplay. So I was doing role play.
I watched an episode of Black Mirror. It was called Striking Vipers, I believe was the name of it. And it was the guy who played Tupac in the Biggie movie. I love him. He's so good. And him and his friend are playing online games together. One's at one house and one's at the other, and they become obsessed with this game and they start banging it virtually.
What?
Like they start banging virtually. It's like virtual reality.
Like Sims?
So like, yeah, and like one's the guy and one's the girl, but they start banging and they start having like this very sexual relationship, but not in real life. They're just friends in real life. But they're like all the way banging in their game. And that's what the episode's about. It was very weird.
I don't listen.
I think it was more like they're banging really. They're because it's Black Mirror, so it's like really sex.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So now Chris only has. That's great, Noelle. Chris only has his art on Facebook,
right?
And Neve is disturbed by this because Neve's like, okay, so he sent you a picture of him, quote unquote, cosplaying doing a werewolf cosplay without a costume for a werewolf.
Here's the thing, Neve, it's so funny because he tries so hard to be nice, but you could tell he's cracking underneath.
He's so mad right now. He's like, oh yeah, that's cosplay. He's like, where's his costume?
Yeah, give me a break. This guy's a werewolf. Who is this guy?
Like, the werewolf cosplay isn't even actual cosplay. So now we find out that Chris supposedly lives with his mom. He's jobless. He's 22. And they ask what she likes about him. What does Courtney like about Chris? And she likes his music taste.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, here's a quote, anything I'm interested in now is because of him. 90% of my personality, basically.
That's horrifying. That's like teen mom Janelle. Like, you're a chameleon.
Noelle, that's like, why are you like that?
You have no identity of your own.
You just conform to whoever you're dating, and
it's
now
gross.
picked up their interest. I got to tell you, I had a friend like this. It was not very fun.
Yeah, I hate that.
Very bad. So this, I think she reveals a little bit of her emotional problems when she says that.
Mm-hmm.
They've only spoken on the phone once, and she said that he sounded very uninterested to be on the phone with her.
I've been on this conversation. I've been on this phone call.
I know, but like, I also wasn't in love with, okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
So now they moved to the WhatsApp app, and she said, he's always busy. That's why they can't talk a lot.
Sure. That's always the excuse, or their phone is broken.
My laptop doesn't really do that. Okay. So she thinks that he's in Turkey because he sends her Turkish movies and Turkish music and everything with the Turkish culture.
But that couldn't be someone who's just really into
Turkish
culture.
Also, and then like later on, she's like, yeah, and I send things to him in Turkey. And Eve's like, okay, but that's why he's in Turkey.
Yeah.
So then she says, and you can tell that she's, again, not totally here. She said, did you know that black roses naturally grow there?
Right.
And Kamie says something that's Kamie's like, oh, you've really leaned into this culture. and I looked in Kamie's eyes at this moment, and she looked back at me, and she was like, yeah, she's whacked. I was like, yeah, no, I know.
No, this isn't great.
Now she loves Turkey. She loves Turkey. She loves planning her trip to Turkey because she has nothing else basically to base her personality around.
Sure. There's nothing else really going on in her life.
So in 2018, she sent him an Odin bust.
What is that?
Okay, so a bust obviously is like a sculpture from the waist up of someone. But who's Odin?
Okay, so who's Odin? Okay. So
Greg,
that's Otis.
Greg Oden from the NBA, maybe? I'm just kidding.
No, I was thinking, no, it's Otis. I was thinking like somebody from like House of a Thousand Corpses.
I don't know.
And,
I don't even know if that's what she said.
Rejects.
What is it? What was it called? Otis? Maybe it was Otis.
Because I don't know, but cosplay, I don't know. I don't know what this means. I'm not into like anime.
Okay, I think
it
might be the bust of Otis Bowen.
I don't know.
The governor of Indiana?
Maybe.
I really don't know. I don't know what she
How do you even know what a bust is?
Well, I know what a bust is.
How? I don't know what a bust is.
Okay,
I know what a bust down is. I would share my Newports with people. They're like, Noelle, can I have a bust down? That was what my whole life in high school was. I would give bust downs to everybody.
Okay, so you ever see like a mannequin that is only from the waist up?
Yes.
That's a bust.
Interesting.
You ever see like an old sculpture, right? Like a chiseled stone thing? That's a bust. Wow. That's how I know what a bust is.
You're very cultured.
Thank you so much. So she sent it to him, and that's when Neve loses. Neve's like, yes, that's why he lives in Turkey. Jeez.
Right. And he sent her a hoodie. Also, what is up with her door? It looks like she's in like the movie Hostel. Like it's very really scary. It's not good.
She probably made it like that. She likes that.
That's true.
So then she reveals that she sent money to his friend, $1,000.
And it's like his friend.
Right. So Iche is his friend. And also her Cash App has disappeared now.
See, that's so shady to me.
And then she says something else that's a big red flag. We were engaged once.
But what? But so you're not anymore?
And you know how she knew they were engaged? Because he sent her a meme of an engagement.
So, okay. So that's how you propose.
And Kamie they think he's a scammer, by the way. And Kamie is like, This is how we know you're crazy.
Yes.
You're not down to earth. So now
Yes.
also they bleep the last name in this episode.
I know. Why did they keep doing that?
They've been doing it for years. I didn't know why they didn't do it the last episode.
Oh no, you're right. I was thinking 90 Day Fiance because they
bleeped Angela's
out,
last
yeah,
name.
Angela's name.
Okay, so now Neve goes to his Facebook and his Instagram and TikTok are connected.
And she didn't even know he had any of that.
I didn't even know.
I didn't know.
But it's all art stuff anyway. So now also they found his friend Iche on Instagram.
Right.
So now they think that it's Iche kind of like trying to, make up Chris so that, maybe she had a crush on Courtney.
Sure.
And she's hiding her identity.
So pretty.
So pretty. So now also Courtney comes back on the screen with her therapy unicorn.
Okay. This is where she lost me.
And she starts talking like a baby, sort of. And I'm like, oh, okay. Also, Courtney doesn't know about any of the social media, but the links are right there.
Right. It's like she hasn't even looked.
Okay. Also, Chris said that Iche doesn't speak English, but on her Instagram, it's all in English.
Right.
Courtney said that even if it was Iche, she'd be into that because she thinks that Iche is really pretty. So it's almost like she's hoping it is.
Right. Okay. So here's the thing. And I don't mean this because like now, she reveals that she's bisexual. Great. But it comes off as desperation. Like whoever it is that likes her.
Yes.
She'll
I
like
totally
back.
agree.
Yes.
She's like, I don't care who it is.
Yes. Like, I don't care.
As long as it's someone.
Yes, exactly.
As long as it's someone from Turkey.
Right. As long as there's someone on the other end of this, I'm interested.
Correct. I totally agree with you. So she says that she's bisexual, but Chris doesn't know that. And now they email Chris.
Right.
So Courtney DMs Kamie in the middle of the night and says Chris needs to talk to Neve and Kamie before he video chats. Why is this all on Instagram DM? That's how you get in touch with the people you're doing a show with?
Very weird.
So Chris says that he doesn't know about the show. He doesn't want to know. And then Kamie's like, oh, do you want to come on camera? And he says, you're pushing it. I don't like you very much. I'm not doing the show.
Very rude.
Very rude and childish.
Right. It was something like you were talking to a little kid. It was weird.
Then he DMs her to chat with her and only wants to talk about something else.
Right. And Kamie's like, just went with it.
Yes. And so they're talking about games. And then Kamie actually falls in love with him. And they get Courtney out of the picture. And now Kamie ends up with Chris.
Right. Well, Kamie and Courtney, they fought to the death. Kamie won.
Well, it's a new day and new eyebrows. And Chris reveals to Kamie that he's not sure if he loves Courtney because he doesn't know if he's capable of love. What are we doing here?
Right. Okay. So are you trying to pretend that you don't feel things that you feel, or like, so you could get out of it? Like, I don't even know if I want to meet Courtney because I don't even know if I love her.
Sure.
Right.
Okay. Now also Kamie, I like catching these little things that are like digs that no one really realizes. So Kamie says to Chris, Courtney looks really pretty. And Courtney's like, oh, thanks, Kamie. And she's like, yeah, well, we got to lure him in.
Okay. I LOL'd. Because it's like, I didn't really mean that.
Right.
Also, though, can we just say how pretty Kamie is?
Kamie's gorgeous, but listen to the. So now she goes, yeah, well, we have to lure him in. And then Chris replies, sure, she does. And Courtney is so happy with this conversation.
The moon, beaming in the face. So excited.
Kamie and Chris just told you were ugly.
And she's like, no, they said I was beautiful.
Okay. Well, they send him the Zoom link. Kamie is flawless. That is what's that's what's wrong with Kamie, by the way.
I know. It's not even fair.
All right. So now we go. Noelle. The voice is synthesized.
Okay. This voice sounded like T-Pain, like in a song. And I'm like, what's happening here?
It sounded like
I can't take it.
I don't even. Who is the guy that was in the wheelchair and he was like not Christopher Walken, obviously.
The guy who was trying to be like a fruitarian or something, but his pancreas broke. Yeah. I know exactly who you're talking about. He had the thing and he sounded synthesized.
Stephen Walken, right? Was that it? Stephen Hawkins.
No, Stephen Hawkins. That's Stephen Walken. Oh God, my
Stephen
old
Hawkins.
roommate used called Martin Luther King one time Martin Luther Dream when she was drunk, and I never got over it too.
I like how you have really deep conversations when she's drinking. Stephen Hawking. That's who was on the other end. That was Stephen Hawking in a Turkish hotel room.
Okay, that was a hotel room, right? I'm not.
Well, that was a hotel room.
But okay, so obviously we're not going to get into it now, but was it a bar? It looked like it was a hotel. There was a bar.
I think it was like a suite.
Room.
No, I think it was like a suite.
Oh, okay.
Like almost like how the extended stay has like a little kitchenette.
Okay, because I could not figure out, because I'm like, this is a bar.
No,
I'm sorry, this is a hotel.
Yeah, it was a hotel, because remember something. Now, someone else had sent us on Instagram and had reposted our post about this podcast and said that Catfish stages your house or rents a hotel or an Airbnb for you.
That's fun. I wish they would come stage my house. And
I know that they used
to
stage the house. I'm going to tell you why. When they used to go in really gross houses, you always saw they had a sheet over the couch.
Oh.
They always used to put like a couch, like a slip cover over the couch.
Or they would just sit outside.
Yes, and that's when you knew it was
sit
really
in the
bad.
yard.
That's when you knew it was really, really bad. Okay, so Stephen Hawking is over there. He said that he doesn't like his voice, and
that creeped me out. I thought it was creepy.
And says, they say, Iche, if it's you, it's okay. And he says, I am not an imposter.
It's like, what?
And I got to tell you, she's just sitting. Courtney's like into this.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's what got me, because I was like, oh, Courtney likes this.
Courtney loves this. This is like, so
Courtney liked the intrigue. Right. It's very exciting. She doesn't think it's weird at all.
So the voice sounds very feminine. And if you didn't know better, you would think it was a female.
Yes.
But I got to tell you, the voice sounds like a nasty, nasty teen, like an out of control teen.
Right. Yes. Okay.
And I'm like, what's going on here? So he said that he doesn't like his voice. He doesn't like how he looks.
Okay.
And then says, here's a quote, even though I'm a guy, I have a hormonal condition, which is why I sound softer than a normal guy would. And then goes on to explain that his features are softer and that his friends
make fun of him. Right.
Right. But also, there's a hand in the corner. Like he's talking with his hands, and the hand just keeps going to the frame. So you know someone's there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I'm like, I don't know what's happening here.
I thought whoever it was going to come out with a mask on.
100%. I was ready for the mask, because in the previews, they made it like he was going to come out with a mask.
Yes.
But that was just the picture that they were looking at.
I know. I fell for it.
So then they're like, all right, well, Courtney's here. Are you guys just friends? And Chris said, no, she's more than a friend.
And it's like, but I thought you couldn't love her. Wait, what? Huh?
Right.
What is
now, dun, dun, dun. The big reveal.
Yep.
The picture of the fake werewolf was him.
Yes.
And Courtney's like, you're so perfect. Everything about you is perfect.
You could tell how uncomfortable Chris was, because he kept covering his face. He was so
covering
nervous.
his face. He wouldn't come close to the camera.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Courtney was like, I wish you would send me another engagement meme.
Yeah, she was smitten kitten. Like, she was all for it.
But it's like, Courtney, you got taken for $1,000.
Right.
They wouldn't even message, like voice chat with you.
Also, they're playing games with you, really.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Neve asks him basically if he's a virgin.
Right. Like, and he's never had a girlfriend.
Right. So Iche is his best friend in real life.
Right.
And they're like, well, Chris, why didn't you give her your real address? And he's like, no, I didn't want to give her my real address. That's why I made her send it to Iche. And then when she sent me the bus, she sent it to my dad's job. Okay. Can you imagine? Your dad goes to work. And in Turkey. And he's like, hey, Noelle, someone sent me a bust to my job for you.
Yeah, here's your statue.
This is from America.
Right. It's just so weird. And also, like, then send it to, like, I don't know.
Okay.
A friend? It's just so weird.
And this is where I start having a very big problem.
Tell me.
All right. So they ask why he needed the money and what the money was about.
Oh, uh-huh.
And he said that he can't get a job because of his appearance.
What's wrong with his appearance?
To be totally honest with you, nothing.
Yeah, right. So he can't work because of his appearance, but I don't think there was nothing wrong with his appearance. He was not ugly. He wasn't gross, like regular looking, not bad looking.
No.
Seemed nice, like
had a nice smile. Like
that's
just
what I
was
mean. Right.
Looked like a friendly person.
Right. Doesn't look like he smells bad.
No,
like
doesn't even look like he smells bad.
Yeah, it was really, and that's where it was like, oh, maybe you are a scammer though.
Right. So now they talk quote unquote alone. And this is my favorite thing that they do on Catfish. You're going to talk alone with the millions of people watching.
Right. We're going to talk shit while everybody watches.
What?
Uh-huh.
Chris looks very happy though. And then
Chris kind of warmed up a little bit.
Yes. Now, Chris also, now they're talking about the natural black roses. And he brings it up and she's like, I know, I Googled it. I know your social security number.
I like you. I like everything about you.
I love you. You're perfect. Let's get remarried.
It's like, what?
And she's just so happy. This is like a fairy tale, right? So she's planning to come and visit him.
Yeah.
This is all she has. This is her. She just met her whole personality.
The thing is, I'm watching this and I'm saying to myself, like, she will go to Turkey and Chris will never meet her.
Okay,
Chris
but
will
here's the
stand
other
her up
thing.
in Turkey.
Noelle.
Yeah.
On national television, she said that she wants to bang Iche.
I didn't even think about that. You're so right. She was hoping it was Iche.
She was.
Yeah.
I mean, even they said, Iche, if it's you, come out.
And she still wants I am not an imposter.
She still wants to bang you.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Now you can't introduce her to your friends.
Can you imagine? They're in a relationship and then Iche watches the episode.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, wait a minute. She just, so, and then also, like you said before, it's like, oh, you didn't care who it was.
Yes.
You were looking.
Care.
Oh my God. All right.
Well, that's what bothers me because I feel like it makes it not authentic. Like you don't care.
Correct. So now we find out this is, so they do that. And then, oh, that's good. That's perfect. They do that. And then Chris decides to be just friends with her after filming, even though she plans a trip to Turkey.
But I think Chris probably just like freaked.
Yeah, I think Chris was like, listen, you're going to send me money. Because I can't get a job.
Yeah.
Because I have an angular haircut.
Yes.
I'm not going to cut my hair.
No, I'm not.
So please keep sending me money.
I can't work.
I don't want to meet you. And they never met. But she said she's going to plan another trip and she's going to go there soonish.
Right. So
Chris got cold feet.
But that's what happened because Chris is not interested. Chris is not interested being a thing.
And then Chris decided they're just going to be friends.
And now Courtney's like, well, I have to prove to Chris that we can be more.
And then Courtney messages Iche and is like, hey, you up?
I need there to be a follow-up on these two.
I want another. See, this is what I'm going to tell you what bothers me about Catfish. You get the little few months later update.
That's not enough. I need a year later update.
I want a reunion. I want a Catfish reunion.
There was.
I remember that. I remember.
But it was only like one, right? I think
one. It was the first season.
Yeah.
Noelle. I need a Catfish reunion.
Tracy, last night I was laying in bed and I was telling Matt about Catfish, and there are just so many classic episodes.
We're gonna be doing them. So there's
I can't wait.
There's a very big off season on Catfish.
Yes.
Very big off season. On the off season, we're gonna go back. We're gonna do it. Eventually, we'll probably do the movie. Maybe we'll do it on Patreon. I don't know what's gonna happen, but you're here for the long haul with us.
Yes. And we love you.
We absolutely love you, and we will see you. Make sure you're following us. I'm at Trixie Tuzini on Instagram, Twitter, and Stereo. And Noelle is at Noe Girl, Instagram, Twitter, and Stereo. Make sure you're following us on all those platforms. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/Trash Talk Podcast for over 200 bonus episodes. We're having so much fun with you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Make sure you give us a 5-star rating and an amazing review.
And tell a friend.
Tell a friend. No, we already have so many great reviews.
Really?
Noelle, We have so many listeners that absolutely love our podcast.
That makes me feel so happy.
Yes. And if you want to be part of this, then you need to leave a review too.
Do it because we love you and we really like nice reviews.
Baby Cakes 09 said, name a better duo. I'll wait. Tracey and Noelle put their heart and soul into each podcast they have. You won't be disappointed. Full of humor and honest thoughts. Love these ladies. Check out all of their podcasts.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah. SJS 1489 says, love these two. Been listening to 90 Day Fiance Trash Talk for over a year now. So of course I had to give this one a listen. Definitely did not disappoint. Funny as always. Can't wait for your recap of Catfish the movie. It's a definite classic.
For real.
For real. So we'll see more of your reviews next week, hopefully.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.